Today we are going to be learning how to make our mats and carpets at home, and we have 5 methods we can learn on making the mats. So you can practice all the 5 methods. Then once you know all of them, you can prefer your choice. You make your own carpet to use at home. You can also make the carpets and sell them. The 5 methods, we have the first one, which is called the Shaggy method. Then we have the open loop method. Then we have the Pom-pom method. We have this big one and the small method. You can use any pom-pom. Then we have the loop method. And then we have the gunia method, where we make the mat using a simple gunia you can find at home. So kindly like my channel, subscribe to this channel as I take you through the 5 methods of making the carpets. You can also check out my other videos I've uploaded on different things you can make, different skills you can acquire, and also earn money while selling the products. Karibu. So before we start on carpeting, I'm going to show you the tools we are going to use. So we have our mat mesh. This is called the mat mesh or tapestry. It comes in different colors. For example, you can see this one is green. This one is light brown. So the color doesn't matter. You choose according to your preference. Then we are going to have our marker pen. Our marker pen, we are going to use it to design our carpet the way we want it. Scissors, of course, to cut the yarn. Then we are going to use the crochets. I'm sure you've come across this. They come in different numbers. For example, you can see this one is a 2. That one is a 2 when you look closely. Then you're going to find this other one is 2.5. So they come in different numbers. We have even a 3, 4, and 5. So you choose the one that is comfortable with your hand. So I prefer the 2.5. Then we have this crochet. It is called a latch hook crochet. As you can see, I'm familiar with the ladies are familiar with this one. You find it in the salon. It is the one that is used to make your weave. So, but you're going to use it for this purpose to make our carpet. So it's called a latch hook crochet. Why? Because you can see this is the latch. So what it does, it locks in the yarn while you're crocheting. So now, before you decide on the method, you have to decide on your design. So you get your tapestry. I'm just going to cut a small bit of it for demonstration purposes. So you can cut. So when you're buying it from the supplier, they sell it in meters. You can buy half a meter, depending with the size you need. So again, when you look closely at this mat mesh, we have the softer side and we have this side with bumps. I hope you can see that. So this side with bumps, work on the side with the bumps. So when it is there, put down your design. I'm just going to do a simple design. Maybe I want it to go that way, that corner, and again this corner. So meaning this part, I want a color here, I want a color here, and a color the other side. So whichever design you decide to put. If you want, again, you also have to decide the type of yarn you want to use, whether you want to use one simple yarn or different yarn. By yarn, I'm talking about this Uzi. So for this mat mesh, we use this chunky yarn. It is called yarn. Chunky yarn ni ile uzi nono. So when you're going to purchase, it is even written chunky yarn. So you can buy from Robin. We have Robin, we have Butterfly, we have Seal, whichever your preferred choice. But mine, I prefer Robin. So also, as I said, choose your colors. If you want a plain carpet, go for one color. If you want to blend your colors, decide the color you want to use. So we have a simple design there. So the first thing you do, you bind the edges. You bind the edges. So with binding the edges, we have 2 methods. So I'm going to take you through each one of them. And to bind also, we can either use the simple crochet or the latch hook crochet. So we start with the simple crochet. So what you do, you get to one end. So push your yarn. Then we tie a knot. We tie a knot on the underside. Remember I said we are working on the rough part. So now take note, I'm left-handed, so I'll be moving this side. If you are right-handed, you'll be moving in the opposite direction. So what you do, this is our thread. Start where you put your thread. Remember, we are binding, so we are going up. Pull your thread that way, then make it loose to the length you want. Go back again, hook this thread, put it in there for the first time, bring it out, pull it. The first one, okay, let me go back. We have the 3 of them. Pull it out, the first one. But now as you continue, you can make it 1. So what you do, you don't go, but just go in, pull the yarn. You have the 2, pull it out to make 1. Go back to the next hole, pull your thread, they become 2, you pull out until the edge. So I'm going to do this all the way to the end. Okay, as you can see, I have finished binding. So what if you decide to use this method, kindly bind round with the same method, that one. Then now we go to the second method. Still going to use the same yarn. So you move horizontally with this method. So you pull it that way, then you lengthen before you move to the next one. Lengthen the yarn to the desired length. Again, you go into the hole where the yarn is, pull it out the other side, you loosen. Then the trick with this method, make sure it locks. That is why we are putting the crochet where the last thread is. So pull it up. As you can see, by lock I mean you can see it is locking itself, so even when you pull, it won't come out. So since you want this to be your edge, you must lengthen it a bit. So you do the same again all the way to the end. So once you find out that your thread is your crochet is full, you just simply pull out your crochet this way. Don't pull out with the hook mate doing your loops. Then you bring it to the last loop there, and you continue. So as you can see, we have reached our edge. So let's assume we have bound all around. You are on the last edge there. So what we do, as I said, pull out the crochet. Then now we have to tie this end so that the yarn doesn't run. So we cut the yarn. So what we do, in the last loop, we assume we are continuing, but now it comes out that way. You pull it that way, you pull it down, you tie your knot, and try to pull it down as much as possible. You tie it that way and pull it down. Then now what you do, remember this is the edge. So after you've bound it that way, take your scissors and cut the loops open. When you do this, take your scissors, cut the edges open, take your scissors as far as it can reach, cut it open. That way. That way. So when once you get to this edge, you can cut it off, so it totally looks the same. So that is going to be your edge. So you can have your edge either this design or this design. And remember we said you can see it is locked, so it can't come out. So now we go to our first method. Our first method is going to be the loop method. So once we are done, it's going to look something like this. You can see the loops. And the loops is just the simple way we've done the same. But now for the loop method, prefer using the latch hook crochet, but still you can try at both. You see which one is favorable to you. So let me change the yarn. So we are starting as I said. Let me use this one. You tie, so that is your edge. So we are starting at this corner there. So again we are going to tie a knot. Pull it back. Then now again you start from where you've put your thread. Insert your latch hook crochet. We are working moving this way, so it moves horizontally. So what happens when you pull it, it opens up. So as you're pulling it back, it locks itself. You can see it has locked itself, so it's very easy. You just pull out, then the loop again, as we said, where the thread is, put it in there. So the moment you put it in, bring it out the next hole, make sure the latch is out. Again, hold your thread. The moment you bring it back, it locks itself. It makes it easy to bring it out this other side. So again, lengthen the loop, do the same. It opens. When you start pulling back, it locks itself again. Let me see again. You can see again, it can bring a lot of trouble with the latch, so you have to hold it properly. Again, pull your yarn. As it comes back, it locks and you're able to pull it out. So I'm going to do the same all the way to the edge. So as you can see, this is where I said my design will reach for this color. So I was moving this way. So to come back this way, I have to turn my carpet. You see where the thread is? I turn my latch hook, I bring it to this hole, I hook it, it brings it out. Now to move to the second line, I have to remove this latch hook from this one. So what I do, I close it, then I pull it out first. Then now I bring it to the last loop, that way. Now where the hole is, I put it in that way. I turn the crochet such that it comes to the second hole. I take my yarn. Again, as I pull it back, it closes and it opens up. Let me do that again. So I put it in, I bring it to the next hole. As I pull back, the latch closes and it comes out. It's being troublesome, so I pull it that way. So as I said, you can try out with this latch hook. You pull it out, it comes out the next hole, that way. Then now you start moving in this direction. As I said again, it depends with the one that you're comfortable with. You can use the latch hook. I prefer it simpler. Still, you can use, let me show you the crochet one. You can still use the crochet. Again, you do the same. Get it there. Hold your yarn tightly, pull it back. It comes out. Pull the loop to the size you want. Again, you do the same. Remember, we are following this design. You go up to the edge. Let me show this. So this is the problem with the crochet. It keeps loosening up, but with the latch hook, it closes itself. So get it in. We pull out our thread, loosen the yarn. So we do the same up to the edge. Then we turn the way I've said. We come back. Again, now when you get to the end, to get to the second row, I said you turn your carpet. Get to this hole, that way. You see where the yarn is, so you place it that way, hook inside here. So this part is a bit tricky, but once you get used to it, you are good to go. So pull your thread. When it locks in, pull it out. Let me repeat. Put it in. Make sure it's coming to the next row. So pull your yarn like that. It locks, it comes out. So lengthen it that way. So now you turn to the other side. So I've just done 4 rows for demonstration. So we said as you're finishing, you cut your yarn, then you bring this one in that way. Then here you pull it down, then you tie a knot that way. Then you cut this part off. So if you want to use the loop method, you are going to fill the entire carpet or the section you want with this color, with those loops. So as I said, when you're done with your carpet, for the loop method, it's going to look this way. So that is the loop method. You've seen now, like this carpet, I've done the edges with this method. That is the loop method. The second method is called the open loop method. The second method we are going to go to is called the open loop method. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to do the loops first. So when the loops are done, you simply cut them open. So when you cut them open, they are going to give you something like this. So these ones, we first did the loops, then we cut them open. So once you're done with your loops, the same method you've done the first one. So what you do after you're done with the loops, you just cut them open like that. Then you have to be patient and you have to make sure you've not left any loop. So you can decide to follow a certain line. You either go vertical or horizontal, so long as you get to cut them all open that way. So I'm still going to use the same mat. So once you are done, the open loop method is going to look like that. Now, so we've started. The first method is the loop method. You leave them with the loops. The second method is the open loop, where you make the loop, then you open them up. Now we are going to go to the third method, which is called the Shaggy method. And this kind of carpet is very common and popular with the Rastafarians. They make them and they put their designs there, the different colors for the Rastafarians. Also, those people with personal cars, they like to put the Shaggy mat on their dashboard and it looks very nice. So this is the Shaggy mat. It looks something like this, very nice and very simple to make. So again, you choose your yarn. So let's do the blue. So what you do, the length really matters with you. So if you want it this size, if you want it longer or shorter, it depends with you. But so simply what you do, you just tie your yarn. I'm going to use my hand. I want this length of my hand. So what I do, I can do like 10 times. So it depends. The more yarn you use, so I'm going to do that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can go up to 50, but let me get to there. So once I'm done rolling, I cut. Then what I do now, I pull this out. So I cut one edge. So I cut one edge. Let me switch. So I cut down here. So I also hold properly. I cut up here so that I can get the yarns in the same size. That is the essence. If you don't want to use your hand, you can get a wood where you get the size you want. So when I have my cut yarn like that, so what I do for this one, again, the best option is to use the latch hook. So what you do, you tie the yarn like that. You take your latch hook, you take your carpet. So let's assume, let me just start from here. So what to do, first insert your latch hook. We are moving horizontally. So you put it there, bring it out in the next hole, make sure the latch is out. So you hold tightly to the end, then you have your hook like that. So insert your latch hook, and we see that as it comes back, it closes, it opens up. Don't pull it all. Remember, we are holding this part. So again, open, hook that part that you are holding the end, hook it, then now you bring it out. So you can hold there to help you bring, so it's out. So what you do, hold the upper part, then you pull it down to tighten like that. Again, with this Shaggy method, you can decide. There are so many holes here, so you don't have to fill everything, because when you fill everything, it becomes very bulky. So you can opt, for example, I've started here. You can opt to skip 2 or 3 holes, go to the next one. 1 hole, go to the next one. So you don't go beyond 3. It's going to get to be very wide. Or you can decide you fill 1 row each and every box. You skip this row, You fill this row, you skip this row, you fill this row, you skip this row. So it depends with what you're going to choose. So I've chosen to skip 2 boxes, so I'm going this way. So I pick the next one. I said you hold the bottom side that way. So I've said I skip 2 holes. So 1, 2, I'm here. So I insert it in the next direction. I put my latch hook there, it has closed. I pull it, making sure I don't release this part. I open it up, I hook that part and pull it out. It comes out, then I tighten it. Again I count 1, 2, I go to the next one. I get my yarn. 1, 2, I'm there. So I get it in there. The latch closes, I bring it, I make sure I've tightly held there. I hook it, I bring it out, I tighten. So you do the same all the way to that row. So what I've decided, since I've skipped 2 boxes, I'm going to come to the next row. I won't skip a row because again it's going to leave a lot of space. But the best thing with the Shaggy mat, if it leaves a lot of space, you can always fill the hole, so you don't have to worry. So let me fill at least 5 of them. So as I said, I've decided to go skip 2 rows. So once you're done, you will have your Shaggy mat like that. So as I said, with this finished one, you can always check this. That is the way it is. It's not so bulky. So you can always, the underside will look something like this. So you can always check through the holes. If you find any space you want to fill up, you can always fill it up. So that is the Shaggy mat. Now we go to the last method, the pom-pom method. So this is the pom-pom carpet or mat. These are the pom-poms. So these ones are larger, these ones are smaller. So you can choose whichever size you want. So when I talk of pom-pom, I'm referring to this kit. This is what we use to make the pom-pom. It is called the pom-pom maker. And it comes in 4 sizes. We have the large size, the medium size, we have this one, and the small size. So you can opt to use either size. For example, now for this one, I used this size. For these ones, I used this size. So you can either use the big one or the small one. And for example, this small one is the one that is used by those people who make the kofiyas, and they put that pom-pom up there. Also this other one, they also use the big one. They put it in the kofiya. My kofiya. So this, they have used the bigger pom-pom. So with this pom-pom maker, you can use it to make different things. And you're also going to find out that we also use it to make the bottle decor. We decorate up there when we make the bottles. So as I'm saying, this pom-pom kit can help you to make so many things. I've said you can use it to make your kofiya, to decorate your kofiya. You can also use to make it, for example, this is our bottle decor. This is what I'm talking about. You use your bottles, like these are the wine bottles. You decorate them, then you put the decorations up there. We call them the pom-pom flowers. So this one you're going to learn in a future lesson. So let us concentrate on making the mats. So I'm going to demonstrate how to use this pom-pom. So what you do, this pom-pom, as you can see, has this part that is moving and the part that is stuck in there. So you open this part. There are 2 of them. So you open them jointly. You come to the other side, you open the same. Then you hold it at the center. So it should open like that. So you can use either side. You join them both. So take your thread. So I'm going to use this mat mesh. So let me take my green yarn. So what we do, we hold both edges. So we hold the end of our yarn. We come there. First we tie it that way. Then when it is that way, we are taking it round this part. Make sure it doesn't cover this part. We want it inside this section. So we want to take it round. So when we reach here, we come back. So usually we do 3 rounds because we don't want it to get so bulky. It will give us a difficult time when we are cutting it open. But the essence is make sure it is covering this section. So when you reach this part, That is the end. Again go back, so that is the first one, then you go back the second time. So if you see any space you've left, cover it up, do the second time up to the edge. Let's go another time. That way we are done with that side. So what you do, take your yarn, pass it through to the other edge between this other one. So this one you can leave it open, hold this other section, so you start with the side nearer to you, so bring it in there. The same thing we do the inside, we cover the inside, we are doing it 3 times. So once you are through with the other side, we've gone 3 rounds. Cut your yarn, this one, cut it off. So close your pom-pom, close that side, again this side. Then now you hold your middle, the middle area, then you come to this side. You see that was moving, we want to cut it open, so hold your pom-pom like that, then take your scissors, stick it through that part, make sure it doesn't open up. So you can take small pieces of the yarn, you go cutting, and as you can see there's a space. Remember the 2 sections we held together, this space is what is going to help you to take the scissors through. Make sure you hold it tightly, we don't want our yarns falling off, so don't mind this. So you go in bits, holding tightly both sides. So take your scissors through, you hold tightly, the cut pieces can fall right off if you release your hand. So the trick with the pom-pom, you have to keep on holding it. So as you can see, it can go straight, so we come to the other edge, we're holding tightly. The same, we start this side, we cut, we pick a small section to give us a head start, then we continue cutting it. To make sure your scissors are comfortable, don't pick a big chunk, just go in bits. If one comes off, you'll trim it later. Continue cutting. So once you are done to the end, you can trim these parts you are seeing. So hold tightly. So what you do next, take your thread, take your yarn once again, you bring it to this middle section, pass it through, you hold tightly as it comes through the other side, make sure it's going through the middle section. So when it comes up that way, let's put it to that length, cut it there, then now pull it in tightly that way. Then now you place it down, you make your first knot. You make your first knot here, you pull it in tightly, you bring it to this other side through the section, we tie a second time. You want to make sure it's tight so that the cut yarns don't fall off. You can even go at that time, so we do it at that time, we tie. So once we are done tying that way, so now we come here and open this part. We're still holding this section, let us open this side, we come to the other side, still we open. So when it is that way, you pull the pom-pom out. You can use it, you hold to one side, you pull out to the other side. The pom-pom is still in touch, it hasn't spoiled, so you pull out your pom-pom. Then now you hold this thread, you shake it first to get it in position. You can see there it is. So we trim these edges, we want it to have an even size. So I said, if you want your pom-pom to be more and tougher, you can go so many rounds, but again I said it will give you trouble when you're using the scissors. So that is it. So you have this size, So now then there's one I'd made here earlier. I want to use the two to show. So you make so many of them using the same method. Now you come to your mat mesh. We have our mat mesh here. So what you do simply, this thread we use to tie, you pick one. You come here, insert it here. The crochet can help you to get it in there. Take it to the underside, pull it. Then once it's done there, bring it up again. The next hole, you can see we've brought it in through here. Now we are bringing it up to the next hole. And why are we doing this? We don't want the thread to be left on the underside. It looks a bit untidy. For example, you can see from this one, I've tied them downwards, so it doesn't look so neat. But this one, I've brought them down. It's much better. So we want the underside to look this way. So that is why we are bringing the yarn up. So we remember we inserted it here. You can see we brought it up the other side. So you place your pom-pom, you take the other thread, come to this other section, the other side, push it in, pull the thread on the underside, then again bring it up through the next hole like that, still holding on to your pom-pom. That way, pull it up that way, so you have your thread on the upper section. So now when it's there, place it properly down. Then now you tie a knot here. Tie it again. Don't tie it too tightly, it may pull the tapestry, but again don't make it too loose. So once you're comfortable with your tie, you can go 3 times. So once you're comfortable it's in place, you can cut off this thread. Then you position the second one. Again you will position it close. So you are going to fill them and they are going to fill all the spaces. So once you are done that way, you will have your pom-pom, either using the small pom-pom or using the large pom-pom. So I'm hoping by now you've learned the different methods. Remember we started with this one, the loop method. Then we came to the open loop, where we said after you make the loops, you cut them open. Then we made the shaggy mat. Then now we've done the pom-pom. So next you're going to look at the making carpets using gunia. So kindly like my channel, subscribe, and look out for the next video where we're going to be doing the gunia carpet. Thank you.